Hi there. If you have a strappy menage a trois piece, then you may have noticed that the way I make my covered strap elastics means that I don't have rings and sliders to adjust them with on the fly like, say, a bra strap elastic can use. However, they are still made in a way that makes them quite easy to adjust if you find that your size has changed or that perhaps a measurement is off and you need to make some adjustments. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. Now, regardless of whether your strap is attached to a hook or to a ring, as long as it's not also stitched to another strap in addition to being stitched to the hook, then you can absolutely adjust the length of that strap. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to undo the way I have stitched it on all of my pieces that are made in this manner. And what I want you to do is kind of pull apart a little bit the actual elastic where it's been folded over, and you're going to find the piece of thread that's connecting the two items. And you're just going to slip your scissor or your thread ripper underneath that thread and break it. And then you're going to pull it apart even more. And as you pull it, that thread will be undoing the stitching that I've done, right? Little by little, just like that. Now, the reason I start from the top, sort of inside the fold edge, is that when it comes to the end of my elastics, I tend to pull in a lot of threads at the bottom, so it's a little harder to start down here and undo it and work backwards. Now, once you get to the end point, you'll see that there are more threads in play, so you're just going to go in and pick them apart as carefully as you can. And it usually won't take too much effort to do that. Once you've got it open, just pull out any threads that are hanging loose and snip them off if needed, just to clean that up and get it out of the way. So once you get to this point, obviously you can decide how you want it to adjust. And of course, when you're doing this for yourself, you're going to want to try it on and decide how short that needs to be or how long that needs to be, and make sure that you're pinning it and stitching it back in place in the right spot for you. Once you've got this pinned and ready to be stitched, you need a doubled thread and needle. So that's a needle with about a 20-inch piece of thread on it that's been fed through one end and folded over so that your two ends of the thread are meeting at the end. And then you're going to simply make a knot in that thread, a nice juicy knot, and then cut off sort of the extended tail if you have one there. And then you're going to go in behind your piece and put your needle in somewhere along that stitch line. So as you can see, I'm coming in right on my thread on the front, and I'm going to pull my knot through. And then I will hold my two elastics together as I push my needle back through right where that stitch is. So right in the corner of that zigzag. Coming back through from the back side, I'm going to push my needle through on that opposite corner of the zigzag. And then I'll follow along, going from corner to corner as it appears on the front, so that each stitch I take kind of blends into the pattern of that zigzag stitching. As I do it, I'm feeling on the back to make sure that my thread isn't sort of getting garbled up. Sometimes as you pull your thread through, it'll get all knotted up on you. So just make sure that that's not happening. And if it is, take a moment to clear it up. Now, as I get to the end of where my straps are being stitched to each other, I will stop in, and what I'm going to do is pull my thread over towards that bottom piece, and then I pick up just a little bit of that elastic on the front and sort of whip over the fabric that's covering it. And then I will grab another bite from the middle and angling my needle to the side there. Grab it just like so. And as I pull that thread taut, you'll see that the sides of the elastic or of the fabric are being pulled out from this edge of the piece. So pulled in towards the center. And then I will take another bite right from the center, grabbing the corners of the other side the same way. And as you see, the whole thing is getting pulled in towards that middle. And this just makes it so that you don't have any weird raw edges poking out from the sides on the front side. So once I'm satisfied with that, I'll go ahead and take just a little bite from that middle section again, and I will make a knot. So I'm going to wrap my thread around my needle twice, pull that down nice and tight, and then holding that with my thumb, pull that, and that makes me a nice tight little knot at the bottom. Now if you're uncertain of your knots, you can do a secondary knot there, but you don't necessarily have to. Once you've got that, what I do is put my needle back in near that knot, and I will push it through between layers here, so it's not sort of catching through anywhere, and just pull that needle through to another section. And where I've pulled it through, I will pull it nice and tight and just carefully snip that tail end right off at the edge. And as you can see here now, my elastic is newly secured and there's no ugly thread tails hanging around. And there you have it. That's how you adjust any menage a trois strappy item, whether it be a G-string, a Eugenius, a body cage, or a harness. They're all built in the same fashion by my hands, and I am happy to help you with any adjustments you need, but you can also do them yourself quite easily, as you've seen here today. Thanks so much. Bye.